Real quick, before the video starts, we're trying to reach 20,000 subscribers by the end of the year, and we're getting very, very close. So if you're on the majority of people watching this video that are not subscribed, then please do subscribe down below so you can help us on the road to 20,000 and you won't miss a single video. I just filmed that little intro after the video, so now let's get to the actual video. What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to the Full 90. Today it is time for the Week 16 Premier League predictions, and I want to give a massive shout out to MedTube05HD. Little sus profile picture there, but they left their predictions on the previous video. Correctly managed to predict West Ham to beat Chelsea and both teams to score. They correctly predicted the Aston Villa versus Leicester scoreline, which I thought was very, very good. So overall, a pretty good week of predictions for them. If you want to be featured in the next episode of Premier League predictions, then drop your predictions down in the comments below. I also have a massive list of shout outs for the new members, the TF90 Super Tipsters. We're now at 20 members, so I want to give a shout out to all of you right now. If you do want to join and it is available for your country, you can see the join button down below or click the first link in the description to get exclusive tips and everything like that, exclusive videos, that sort of thing. We also had a 100% tip success rate on the Champions League Tuesday fixtures, which I thought was very, very cool. So shout out to Yaya Tali, Bisal Thakuri, Mahdi Abdullahi, Jordan Holloway, Pink Mango, Ale Rossi, Benjamin Collier, Seki William Mamalia, Tobias Fratska, Regilon, Pickles for the Win 1, Bjorn the Vikingstad, and Chang Belmont. Thank you so much for the support and joining the TF90 Super Tipster. And I did get a question in the comments saying, can I trial out the membership or are you locked in? So basically, if you do join the membership club, you can cancel at any time and it's all totally up to you. But if you do join, you of course get the little badge next to your name, which you can see in the comments of the members, and you get exclusive videos, exclusive tips, and accumulator ideas and everything like that. So massive shout out to all of you for joining. And now it is time for the Premier League predictions. Of course, we had a pretty decent week last week, I have to say, and personally, it was a little bit painful. I had a super mega accumulator, and had the late West Ham goal gone to Chelsea, it would have won us £45,000. Bitter pill to swallow, that one. It was Liverpool to win to 0, Real Madrid to win, Bayern Munich to win and both teams to score, Chelsea to win and both teams to score, Southampton and Brighton to draw, and we were just that one goal. £100 would have returned £43,000, which would have been pretty tasty, I have to say. But we had a couple of perfect scores. Southampton and Brighton to draw 1-1. Man City to win 3-1. We also got AC Milan to win 2-0. Juventus to win 2-0. And Bayern Munich to win 3-2. Those are all tips shared with members as well. So like I said, if you want to check out, you can do that. But now we move on to week 16, kicking it off Friday night football with Brentford up against Watford. And the last time these two played each other in the Championship at the Brentford Community Stadium, Brentford walked away with all 3 points. And I think at home, they are going to be just too strong for this Watford side. However, we've seen this season that Watford, they do have a goal in them. So I'm going to go for a goal. My tip is going to be both teams to score at 1.75. And my score prediction is going to be a 2-1 win to Brentford. If you're feeling brave, I think for odds of about 4.3, you can double up and go with Brentford win and both teams to score. But I'm going to go and just keep it simple. In case it's a 1-1 draw, and go with both teams to score at 1.75. Now, after that, we have Manchester City up against Wolves. City are looking very relentless, very efficient. And obviously, they did lose against RB Leipzig in the Champions League. But no worries. The tip there was both teams to score and over 2.5 goals, which did come in because it was 2-1 the other way. But City are looking good in the Premier League. They're on a pretty good win streak. They're at the top of the league. And I don't see them coming unstuck against this Wolves side here. Wolves showed their defensive resilience against Liverpool. Obviously, they did end up conceding a late goal to Divock Origi, meaning they walked away with nil points. However, I do think Wolves will try and basically do a similar sort of thing, keep it tight, maybe hit Man City on the break. I don't see Wolves scoring, though. I think it could be quite similar to the Liverpool game, but I'm going to go for a 2-0 win to Manchester City. And my tip, it was very hard to find value here, and I would err on the side of caution because City could win this one 3-1. They could win this 4-0. So if you're feeling brave, maybe go for Manchester City to win and under 3.5 goals at 1.95. City to win 2-0, as I said there. Now, after that, it is Arsenal up against Southampton. Where do I start with this one? Arsenal missed so many chances against Everton. They had the chance to take that game for the win, and they ended up losing thanks to a very, very good goal for Demarai Gray. And Southampton unable to hold on to their lead against Brighton thanks to another late Neil Maupay goal. So I think this is going to be an interesting game. I think with the way Arsenal have been playing lately, I can see them conceding, but at home they do have a very, very good record. So I'm going to go for the Arsenal win. I'm going to go 2-1, but my tip is both teams to score at 1.8. This could easily end 2-2. So I'm going to go for both teams to score on that one. After that, we have Chelsea up against Leeds. Chelsea off the back of conceding 3 goals in back-to-back fixtures against West Ham and Zenit St. Petersburg in the Champions League. I think Leeds will fancy their chances to get at this Chelsea side, but ultimately Thomas Tuchel's quality will prevail and Chelsea will get the win. So I'm going to go for a 3-1 win to Chelsea, and my tip is going to be Chelsea to win and both teams to score. The same tip that I offered for the Chelsea-West Ham game. Miraculously, that didn't come true. Chelsea were by far the better side, but in the end, West Ham took their chances and Chelsea didn't. So 3-1 to Chelsea, Chelsea to win and both teams to score 2.87. Now, after that, we have Liverpool up against Aston Villa. Obviously, it wasn't too long ago that Liverpool suffered a 7-2 defeat against Aston Villa, and Steven Gerrard will be looking to try and replicate that sort of result at Anfield on his return as manager. Although Aston Villa has started well under Steven Gerrard, I think Liverpool at Anfield is a step too far. So I'm going to give Aston Villa a goal because they do score in most of their games. I'm going to go for a 3-1 win to Liverpool. My tip is going to be Liverpool half-time, Liverpool full-time at 1.72. As long as Liverpool are at full strength before AFCON and everything like that, as long as they have Salah in the team, they're going to look good. They're going to start off strong, and they're going to be leading at half-time. 1.72, I can't look past that. I was tempted to go for a Liverpool -1 handicap, but we're going to go with half-time, full-time, in case it ends 1-0, 2-1, something like that. Now, after that, we go to Norwich up against Manchester United. This should be a routine win for Manchester United, coming off of a 1-1 draw against Young Boys, which isn't a terrible result. They didn't play that great, but they didn't need to play that great. The game was pretty much meaningless. But Man United will be looking to be full strength here. I'm going to go for a 2-0 win to Man United. I think it's going to be a fairly comfortable win, and it should be. So I've got 2 tips in this game. Manchester United -1 handicap at 2.2. To win outright, Man United are 1.45, and you would think against Norwich, they would without a doubt get this win. So I've gone one more, gone for -1 handicap at 2.2. My other tip is Ronaldo to score anytime at 1.72. He's on penalties. He'll be encouraged to get into the box to try and get those goals, whether it's a tap-in or a wonder goal or whatever. He'll want to score against Norwich, and I can see him getting on the score sheet here. 1.72, I think, is quite generous for Ronaldo to score, because if United score twice, Ronaldo will probably be one of them as long as he is on the pitch. Now, after that, we have Brighton up against Tottenham. My tip for this game, no tip. I've never done this before in a Premier League prediction video, but my tip is to not bet on this game. Stay away from it. Now, you may look at the odds and think, why on earth are Brighton at evens to win this game? But Tottenham are riddled with the virus in their camp. It's not sure or certain as to who is going to be playing. They still have Europa Conference League to play at the time of recording before this game. So I have no idea what kind of team is going to turn up. I think full strength or even semi-full strength. I originally went for a 1-0 Tottenham win. But to push it out there, I'm just going to say Brighton finally get a win against Spurs. I'm going to say 1-0 win to Brighton. That is due to the fact that Tottenham look absolutely decimated. The game might not even go ahead. So for the sake of trying to get a cool prediction of Brighton beating Tottenham, I'll go 1-0. But my tip is just stay away from this game. Unless, of course, the team news comes out. It looks fairly full strength. The odds will change to reflect that, and then err on the side of caution, of course. But for this game, no tip. Stay away. We'll go with the Brighton 1-0 win. After that, we have Burnley up against West Ham. I'm going for West Ham to replicate their last result at Turf Moor. I'm going to go for an away win. West Ham looking good at the time of recording, still yet to play in the Europa League, but they're done and dusted in their group anyway. So I'm going to go for a 2-1 away win to West Ham. I think Burnley are good for a goal. They certainly have been more so this season thanks to Maxwell Cornet and the goals he's been providing for Burnley. But I think given how much belief there is in the West Ham camp at the moment, I think West Ham will have just enough quality to get past Burnley. And my tip is West Ham to win at evens at 2. I know it's been a little bit of a topsy-turvy tip, West Ham to win when they're above evens. But I do think West Ham should have the quality to beat Burnley. It's that little seed of doubt at Turf Moor that makes the odds so good, and I can't look past it. Now, after that, we have Leicester up against Newcastle. Leicester have a very, very important game to play in the Europa League against Napoli. I mean, they're at the top of their group right now, but if Napoli field a full-strength team, I don't see Napoli losing to Leicester in the Europa League. But you guys will already know how that went down. But I do think Leicester are going to beat this Newcastle side. Newcastle, very entertaining going forward. They got their first win against Burnley. And I do think they're going to score a couple of goals at the King Power Stadium. Leicester's defence has looked all but solid this season. However, Leicester's firepower is better than that of Newcastle's. They're very similar teams in a weird sort of way, but Leicester's like a quality above that. So I'm going to go for a 4-2 Leicester win. Similar to the Leicester-Watford game where I thought that Leicester would win the game and concede. I said Vardy would score twice and Vardy scored twice. I'm going to go for a very, very similar narrative here. Obviously, the Europa League is a little bit of a spanner in the works. However, if there's one thing we can rely on, it's Newcastle's shaky defence. So I'm going to go for a 4-2 win to Leicester. My tip is Leicester to win and both teams to score at 3.1. I couldn't look past those odds, so I've bitten the bullet and I've gone for it. And the final game of the Week 16 game week in the Premier League is Crystal Palace up against Everton. This is a very difficult one to predict. I think if I had to predict a winner, I would go with Crystal Palace. Despite Everton finally ending the awful run against Arsenal, that is what the Gunners do. They provide wins and 3 points for teams that look very unlike getting a win. But Crystal Palace have been playing well. They've been scoring in the majority of their games this season. So I think, like I said, if I had to go for a win, I'd pick Crystal Palace, but I'm going to err on the side of caution. I haven't predicted a draw yet in this video, so I'm going to here a 1-1 draw between the two teams. And my tip, both teams to score at 1.95. That value looked pretty good. Everton will have the belief that they can win this game after beating Arsenal, and they do have players that can cause problems. Richarlison, Demarai Gray, even with their absentees. And Crystal Palace, of course, look like they can score a goal at Selhurst Park, so I think that lends itself well to both teams scoring. And that just about does it for the Week 16 Premier League predictions. If you did enjoy this video, please do drop a like, subscribe down below as we're well on the road to 20,000 subscribers, and I'll see you in the next Premier League predictions video very soon.